Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rutan, and this is a blue collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I got my buddy Mike Sheridan back.
Hello, hello.
We are both fans of Cabernet Franc. It's probably one of the most things we have in common. He's a Dallas Dingleberry. I'm a Seahawk fan, so that's a big difference we have, but that's okay.
One star, no star.
That's okay. Anyway, we are going to taste Cab Franc against Carmenere because they're very, very similar in style. And we thought, we got talking about this. Mike is helping me at the store for the summer. It's Scott, Mike, and I, and me. You're supposed to say me, right? Anyway, so he's been working in the department. We started talking about Carmenere and Cabernet Franc and how similar they are. And we thought it'd be fun to do a blind tasting of 2 Cab Franc, 2 Carmenere, and see if we can pick out which is which. That's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time with this. Mike owned Northwest Totem Cellars. That's where I first met him. He sold his wine to me, and I felt that he made one of the best Cab Francs in Washington State. At least in my top 10, for sure. So we're going to do this, and just to prep you guys for this, Carmenere and Cab are very similar in that they're both vegetal. They both have some green bell pepper notes to them. Not always. The winemaker can change that if he wants by using too much oak. That'll change that in a heartbeat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a little peppery, some fruit. They're a little bit deeper, darker wines. The only difference, and this is what we're going to try and pick out, is Cab Franc is known to be a little earthier, whereas Carmenere is known to be just a bit more fruity, fresher fruity style. So that's our only clue in what we're approaching here. So you want to add anything, Mike?
I did ask before I came whether Stan had loaded the bags himself, and he had our friend Scott try to trick us and set them up so that we are totally unaware of what's in the bag. We hope it's wine.
Yeah. I'm sure it's wine.
Yeah.
But maybe not. You never know with Scott, right? So we're going to take those corks out, Mike. I even had him switch up the corks just so we wouldn't be able to.
I'm also going to be interested as to where all these come from in terms of geography, because heat and winemaker tactics in picking will influence how much, at least Cab Franc expresses that vegetal quality and brings out fruit. I never did Carmenere, but I'm excited to try to compare them.
Yeah, now it's interesting that Carmenere is one of the 6 grapes of Bordeaux, and they moved it to Chile, and in Chile they thought for the longest time it was Merlot, until they finally sent some samples to somebody, some lab, and they said, no, this isn't Merlot, it's Carmenere. So it's interesting that for a long time, Merlots that you were drinking out of Chile were actually Carmenere.
And I think they actually lost a lot of the Carmenere in France due to phylloxera, and they brought back a lot of the vines that had originally gone to Chile into France to repopulate the Carmenere. At least that's what I had heard.
Yeah, and they don't do a lot of Carmenere in Bordeaux anymore. They don't do a lot of Malbec in Bordeaux. In fact, they're introducing, I think, like 4 or 5 different grapes to deal with the global warming or whatever you want, climate change. So they are going to introduce, they've allowed certain grapes, and I can't remember them because they're so weird, I can't even think of the names of them off the top of my head. So let's get started. We're going to start with number 1, and what we're going to do is we're going to grade them each individually, and then we are going to put either C for Carmenere or CF for Cab Franc, and see where we go from there. We're not going to, no peeking, Mike.
Still a factor.
Okay, let's see what we get on those. This is pretty dark. I think, wow, this is like a purple.
It is.
Very purple black, isn't it?
I like that.
Yeah.
That color.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is very kind of a purplish black color.
Pretty tight meniscus too. It's, I'd say less than 4 years old.
Get this cork's out of here. But I can't step on one. Once we roll and break my neck. Wouldn't that be funny? Okay. Really, really purple black here. I mean, Boy,
Beautiful nose.
yeah, no kidding.
Beautiful nose. I think we're just gonna have to test one.
I'm getting a lot of chocolate and boysenberry and plum. Not a lot of vegetal. I don't know, but
I don't detect any
little licorice
of that.
too.
I get what I would call the darker tone berries and fruits on the top.
Now one little clue for you, since they're all New World wines. There's no Old World in here. And the reason I did that, and there's a very specific reason, because Carmenere mostly comes from the New World right now. So it wouldn't be fair to throw some Cab Franc from the Loire Valley in there, because that would be pretty obvious. I think Loire Valley Cab Franc is really, really easy to identify in most cases.
It's not like Washington Cab Franc. That's for
Not
sure.
at all. Not at all.
Well, I love the smell.
Yeah,
I can smell it all day.
very, very, very rich on the nose. Okay, let's see what we get on the palate. Touch of veggie on that one. Boy, that really comes through on the finish on that one. Real peppery. Those boysenberry notes are big. Wow, that's a well-made wine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very peppery on the finish.
I'm still focusing on what kind of pepper. It's the darker pepper.
Yeah, black peppercorn almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, not quite green bell pepper.
Not quite as harsh as when you grind it for your salad, but harsh enough that if you smelled black pepper right out of the pepper shaker, it's what it smelled like.
Yeah, it's boy, that chocolate, those chocolate notes come through big time, right on the mid palate, and you get that kind of plum boysenberry. At least that's what I'm getting.
I'm getting the that sweet plum.
Yeah. Like,
Not overly ripe to where it's starting to degrade, but just perfect fruit tone. You can almost hear it like a solid C.
I'm getting, I don't know if you're getting this, but I'm getting just kind of a little bit of a bark note. Right
On the
on the
finish.
top, well, on the
You
top
get
of
on
the
the
mid palate
top?
and into the finish. Just a little bit of a bark, like dried bark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was detecting it more in the finish because I was thinking about the berries in the beginning, but as soon as you said that, power of suggestion, plus he pays me.
Actually, and I'm going to address this power of suggestion. When you get a group of people that are tasting wines blind, or whatever you're doing, even if you're not tasting blind, it's good to bang those thoughts off each other, because everybody has a different memory of certain things. And so when you say dried bark, or you say blueberry, or you say, that helps me identify what I'm tasting, because sometimes I can't quite get it. And I remember we were tasting a Cote Rôtie one time down in Seattle, and we could not. There was a smell on there we could not identify. There were 3 of us there. So we took it over to the guy, and he said, "What are you getting on it?" He goes, "Blueberry." I go, "That's it." So, you know, it's more of a, you know, if you don't eat blueberries, you're never going to get blueberry on the nose. If you don't eat raspberries, you're not going to get raspberries. So, but somebody else is eating raspberries and blueberries, so they get it. So that's really, it's really helpful to get in a group of people and hear these different notes. And we do it all the time at the office, so it really does help. Let's go for number 2. Did you grade yours?
It's relative. I assume I can go back and...
Yeah, you can go back,
Yes.
but you should be able to judge a wine on its own merits.
I did.
You don't have to compare it to anything.
I did.
Okay,
But
then
I'm not
don't go back.
going to let you copy my program. He does this all the time.
Yeah, I never go back on my grade. I might go back on my guess of whether it's Cab Franc or Carmenere.
Yeah.
You grade it, right? So this one's very similar in color. Not quite as purple. This is hedging more towards red.
Yeah, there's redder tones, and I'm colorblind, but I can detect the intensity. There's,
Ooh, boy, this is... Now there's your green bell pepper.
oh
nettles.
yeah, wow. I feel like I just cut up all the vegetables for my stir fry.
No kidding.
Fresh bell pepper, not
Oh, yeah.
old and
Yeah,
tired.
no, yeah, like you just chopped
cut
it up before
You
you,
can actually hear
Yeah.
the moisture leaving the pepper as you
with
cut
a
it.
little bit of seed in it too, you know, the pepper seeds. Well,
But
that's,
enjoyable.
yeah, oh
It's
yeah,
an
there's nothing
enjoyable-
wrong with that.
Yeah,
I always am careful with both Cab Franc and Carmenere, especially Carmenere, because it can be so vegetal that it'll turn off the customer. And so I try to keep them in that range, that acceptable range, because I don't want some customer to come in the store, buy Cab Franc without, or Carmenere without asking you or I, and then they go home, they go, yuck, I'll never try Carmenere again. We don't want that to happen.
asparagus tends to express itself off of Cab Franc when you barrel it and pour it off of its racking you've just finished. And it's scary because you don't want
You don't want asparagus.
But after a month in the barrel, that asparagus is basically gone. It's an ester that evaporates off quickly. Much like when you swirl, and sometimes you'll have some dissolved gases that 3 swirls later you can't detect what's going on that had been in a bottle for 15 years or 10 years.
Yeah, it's true. You can, while you're swirling the glass, if you get some funk on it, you just give it a few more swirls and that funk goes away. But I'm getting I'm getting the same aromas of kind of a boysenberry thing coming through with
And
the
I get
vegetal.
a little bark as well, back to the bark.
Yep, back to the bark, back to the barkics, basics. Of course, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, you should know dirt pretty good because that's where the quarterback is usually most of the time.
I was surprised it took to wine to mention how wonderful the present situation is for the Dallas Cowboys.
Little licorice on this as well.
A lot of licorice, actually, like Luden's licorice.
Yeah.
Like, not quite the bright, but a little mollified, if you will. That candied licorice.
Well, the green bell pepper comes through on the palate on this one big time. However, and this is one of the things I look for with any of you guys trying Carmenere, you would not be put off by that. It's not over the top vegetal. It has good fruit. I get a little bit of that plum as well and that boysenberry. It is fresh. Fresher than the other one was a little deeper. This one's a little fresher.
Yes. The other one had a deeper fruit content. This is
I
the
really like this wine. I think it's a good way to break in because, you know, especially younger wine drinkers that are just getting into wine, I want them to enjoy the wine. You know, you don't want them to get, you know, wow, you know, it's because that's a problem. A lot of sommeliers will be so geeky and so freaked out, ecstatic about a wine, and it is as funky and weird as you can get, which is great for them and great for the group of people that they hang out with. But overall, that's not going to drag any 20-something into wine. They're not going to immediately get a funky Loire Valley Cab Franc that tastes like your salad bowl and enjoy it. That's something you graduate into. And I think I brought this up before, Mike, with you, is that I compare wine drinking to coffee drinking. When you first start out with coffee, at least most people put a little sugar, cream in it, you know, that sort of thing, so they can drink it. And then eventually they find that they're drinking straight up black coffee.
yeah. Oh, your palate gets used to things.
Yeah.
And you also, if you're ever doing blending or tasting and trying to do comparative, you try to keep the time of day that you do it similar, so that food doesn't influence it, other parts of your body chemistry.
That's hard work.
Yeah. Well, we tend to do it at 11, 10:30 to 11. That's when I did all my blending trials with.
Oh yeah, okay. I see what
Sensei.
you're saying.
Yeah. I got
Alright.
a kind of that tone when you open a book and you smell the difference between the book and the pages. There's that slight woodiness, or I don't know if it's paperous.
That's a tough analogy because that would mean that the wine is corked.
I don't get the cork, but
But because old library books are corked wine. But
Yeah, no,
yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I
it's
see what you're
new,
saying.
yeah.
I do see what you're saying. A little bit. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Did you grade it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you guess what it was?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm braver. I'm just going. Of course,
Go ahead.
that makes sense. I'm braver than him.
I'd be impressed with Scott if he gave us all the same kinds of wines.
Now I'm not rinsing my glass simply because they're so similar. I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to change the flavor profile enough. We could rinse, I guess, but number 3. Number 3.
Never rinse with water.
Oh no.
Rinse
No.
with wine.
Yeah. And the reason for that is what they put in the water. Especially if they put chloride, bleach. Sometimes they use bleach in the water to get the germs out. Fluoride would change it. Okay. Again, they're all very similar in color. This one, about the same as the last one, I would say.
Possibly a touch lighter.
You think it's a touch lighter? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I can see that. All right. What do we get on the nose? This is vegetal as well. And licorice. It's like big time licorice on this one.
And something a little heavier in the middle.
Yeah. Almost like a bittersweet chocolate maybe, or maybe cherry. This one's going towards the dark cherry tones, really.
Almost a cooked cherry.
Yeah, reduction.
A reduction.
I like the nose on this one. So far, all of them have been pretty aromatic.
Yeah, there's not one that I've smelled or tasted yet that I would
This has
say no
a
for
little
me.
red flower thing going on too. There's some floral notes on this one, more than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that?
Petunia.
Yeah.
Like that red. Yeah.
Petunia. I like the way you said that. Petunia.
Petunia.
Petunia. That's like Sangiovese.
Sanju, yeah. Well,
Petunia.
We do a lot of expression.
That's a good nickname for Mike at the store. We're going to start calling him Petunia.
Only once.
And this has some bark action on the nose as well, I think. Boy, that stewed fruit comes through big time.
Yeah, it's the cooked, stewed down.
Stewed fruit, yeah.
You got a little bit on
Little
that
plum
palate,
and,
but
plum
it's
and
more.
cherry. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to guess the varietal on this one right off the bat because the first two I was pretty sure. This one's going to be tough. It has the vegetal quality on the nose. It doesn't come through as strongly on the palate.
I don't see it on the palate. Literally, it's.
Yeah, it's
There's a bit tannin.
yeah. There's some tannin to it.
There is.
Has to be some wood on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting the vegetal now. If you squish it in your mouth.
Go back
Definitely
to
getting-
the notes. I'm getting. It's funny. I come back to what I thought I smelled. There's another. It's going to bother me all day. What is the smell?
The floral notes throw me. I don't know. I just think it's very floral.
It's kind of floral in the humidity, like a glass. If you had a glass
We went down to the
greenhouse.
rainforest.
If you had a greenhouse and you smelled it in a area, so it has that humid floral.
It's a well-made wine. I think it has some oak on it, for sure. I'm getting the oak tannin big time on the grip on the back of the gums and all that.
I'm going to predict what I'm going to taste next. That's what I'm going to taste.
Is that right?
Because I've got 2 for 1 and 1 for 2.
Well, I know you're brilliant, Mike, so
Wow.
why don't you prove it to the audience?
We'll see.
They're all, so far I haven't had a bad one. That one has some oak on it though. I'm not sure how much. I'm not a huge fan of some wines having oak on them. Do you think it affects the flavor a little bit?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
It may be part of what I'm trying to identify in that floral note, that it's tampened. It's not purely flower esters, but it's subdued a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think And that's one thing oak will do. It will block out some characteristics of a wine because oak's very powerful, especially if it's, even if it's a year or 2-year-old oak, it's going to have some influence on that
I'll
wine.
bet the tannins that I'm talking about are oak tannins.
I think they are. Compared to the other three.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on to number 4. That's got a little blacker thing going on. One of my favorite Rolling Stone songs, Paint It Black. Ooh. This has almost, it's hedging, getting a little bit of a, it's kind of a brown tone to it.
It is.
Yeah.
And the
What the vintage is on this one.
the meniscus is thinner, like wider.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a little bit of a brown tone to this. I'm not guessing, it could be an older vintage. I don't know. I don't think so. But it might be older than the other ones. What do you know? Very perfumed on the nose. Licorice, chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
What fruit are you getting on that? I get some floral notes on this one. Not as much as number 3, but there's definitely some floral notes. And bark.
I'm getting bark. I'm getting maybe a subdued blackberry or something in the darker berry.
It has a very perfumed element, meaning that it's really popping some sweet notes on it, earth and bark. Yeah, you think that's blackberry?
Bramble or something.
Yeah, brambleberry would be, yeah, it kind of spreads it out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. Brambleberry is a good way to cheat in smelling because you really can't identify anything specifically, but it has all of those kind of characteristics on the
It
nose.
also includes the wood, the bark, and
Yeah.
the vines that go with it. Your experience when you're picking, like if you get close to that experience, it's hard to differentiate the blackberries, the leaves, what your fingers taste like after you're licking them.
Boy, that's a flavor profile that I can never put my finger on. I always, first thing that comes to my mind is copper penny.
Oh, yeah, it does, yes.
I've never heard anybody describe it in a way that just kind of sticks with me, but it has that metallic sort of thing, for lack of a better way to express it. Do you get that kind of?
It's like drinking water out of a stainless steel cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like drinking fruit juice out of a stainless steel
Got a
cup.
little bit of, yes, it is. But the reason I say water is then you don't have other flavors involved. Smooth. It's definitely,
This would be a good introduction to either Cabernet, Carmenere or Cab Franc because it has some interesting complexity to it. It doesn't go totally veggie. There is some vegetal characters on it, and especially on the back of the finish, I get a little bit of that kind of green bell pepper thing in the very, very back of the finish. Maybe even some blackberry vines, leaves thing.
yeah,
Wow,
I predicted right, I think.
you think so?
I do.
Think you followed Scott's logic?
Oh, Scott doesn't have logic. He's his brain is wilder than mine, I think.
Well, since he's such a good cherry picker, he'd be good at picking out cherry notes. Oh wow, this one's tough.
It is.
I like this wine. I like them all so far. This is a fresh. I'm probably wrong on this one, but I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go on this one. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting flavor profile. I like it. It's good, especially with barbecue things. Any sort of barbecue sauce would be good with that sort of flavor profile on this one. Hey. All right.
I think it would do really well with a fried rice as well.
Fried rice.
Yeah, it's not the same as barbecue, but it has tones that are complementary to that cooking.
Yeah. The only reason I said barbecue is because that metallic, it's not really metal, but it has that kind of flavor, which I think would be good with that kind of, any kind of sauce that has a little bit more punch to it.
More acid.
Yeah. Okay, time for the unveiling.
Bum,
Number one, what did you guess it as?
Cabernet Franc.
Okay, so did I. What sort of grade did you give it?
A.
I gave it B plus, A minus. So we're pretty close on that one. Why don't you unveil it? Number one, what do we got?
And
Newsprint. Newsprint Cab Franc from Guardian Cellar. Well, Guardian Cellar, they
Jerry
call it
does great
newsprint
work.
because, yeah, Jerry's wife is in journalism, so he calls it newsprint. Walloop Slope 2022, great vintage in Washington State. See, you knew him. You gave him an A.
thank God. And you told me before we started, do I know any of the winemakers? Because I don't want to burn the 6 friends I do have.
14.4% alcohol. This is a good one. I thought it was excellent. Showed well.
I do too.
Okay, now number two. I guessed number two as, what'd you guess it? I don't unveil yet.
Carmenere.
So did I. What'd you give it?
B plus.
I gave it BB plus. There you go.
There you go.
Carmenere, so far so good. This is a Reserva Casa Silva. Reserva means nothing in the New World, by the way. It's just a term they use. It's sort of a marketing term, really. This is, what vintage are we on here? This is 22 bucks. What's the price on this? 20? $20 on the newsprint. Is that what I have there? 26.
26.
26 on the newsprint, 22 on this one. Terroir de Familiar Carmenere from Chile. There you go. I think that one was pretty obvious. I mean, just that whole vegetal, it really came across me. What did you guess number 3 as?
Carmenere.
I put Cab Franc.
Wow. We
So
shall
I could
see.
be wrong.
I could be wrong.
And it's I gave it a B minus B.
I gave it a B.
Yeah, I thought that the wood on it was
I thought
good.
this was a little bit more expressive.
Oh, you're right. Terra Pura, Carmenere, Reserva,
I'm sorry.
2020.
I couldn't hear it.
Well, you're right about one thing anyway.
One at a time, baby.
15 bucks. Now, I don't think it had oak on it, but that's the impression we got from that. That was the one with the tannins on it. Interesting that it had those tannins.
Yeah.
For $15, I guarantee you there's no oak on this. At least not anything other, unless they use oak staves.
You could
You
use
could do
oak
that.
staves, and
Yeah.
sometimes you can get that wood tannin by crushing with the vines.
Yeah, if they
You just whole body clusters,
whole cluster pressing.
and
will
then
give you
the
tannin.
actual vines create the wood tannins
Yep,
that you're
yep.
detecting.
So, obviously, number 4 is a Cab
Wrong.
Franc, and I gave it a B.
I gave it a B.
Okay, so we're really close on our
So
grading.
I'd say we're identical in our perception of the wines.
Okay, this is the 2020 Terra Blanca Cab Franc. This is one that had a little bit of brown on it.
Well,
which
it
is
was the
interesting.
oldest one,
I
2
know.
years difference.
Yeah, well, yeah, 1 year on this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1 year on that one. This, what was it, Terra Pura?
This was the 22,
That's a 21, right?
yes.
This is a 2020, same age.
What was this one, did you say, 20? Oh, they're 20 and 20.
So Keith Pilgrim, Terra Blanca, Cab Franc, $18. This is from Red Mountain. And I'm surprised I didn't get that one because of the, oftentimes Red Mountain will have Grand Marnier on the palate. And I didn't quite get that. Oh, you know, that's what that was. That Grand Marnier, that metallic.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's probably what I was tasting. And I didn't identify it.
well,
I didn't identify it. Anyway, so Mike won this one.
beautiful winery, Terra Blanca.
Yeah, very
Right
beautiful.
on the hill, you
I was just there last week.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
Very nice.
gorgeous place. And Keith Pilgrim's a great winemaker. And I think they were all really close. I think we didn't, number 3 was the one that well, I liked it. At least you gave it a straight up B, right?
B and B, right.
Yeah, I gave it a B minus B.
Yeah.
So, but very close, very close. There you have it. Mike nailed it. I missed it. It happens.
I try to subdue.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you haven't tried Carmenere, I encourage you to give it a try, and make sure you go to a wine person that you trust that can help you find one that isn't too vegetal, that really expresses the varietal the right way without turning you off. And I love these price points too. I mean, the highest we went was 26 with newsprint. But most of them were down. Well, this was 22.
15,
so
18.
all under 26, all 26 and under, and then the 2, 15, and 18. Great price points.
Yeah.
So Mike and I continue to be big fans of Cabernet Franc, and I am a huge fan of Carmenere as well. I think you probably enjoyed them yourself.
I did. That was a wonderful tasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Stan?
Thanks for showing up.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for the banner. You guys keep watching. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see what's coming up next. You keep watching.
Go Cowboys.
And I'll keep, what?
Go Cowboys.
Yeah. I'll keep throwing up and helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.